Hi, Gerhard Bloom, once again, looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So this is very much on the side of tyranny. Yeah, much like, one of those Stalinist show trials, Donald Trump has been found convicted. Oh, he's a convicted felon. What is it, 34 felony convictions. Why is that? Well, he repaid a lawyer, Cohen, $130,000 repayment for a non-disclosure agreement with Stormy Daniels. Right? I don't want to make this thing too complicated. At any rate, he wrote about 34 checks, right, to cover the cost, $130,000, right? So imagine if he would have written out, 100 checks covering that 130,000, right? Would he be convicted of 130 felony counts? Absolutely ridiculous. Should have been one charge. Actually, shouldn't be any charges at all. Here's the interesting thing. The charge, the initial charge, which was a misdemeanor offense for misfiling, a paperwork violation, right? So miscategorizing the expense as a legal fee. Cohen was acting as Donald Trump's lawyer. So it was actually a legal fee to his lawyer, paying Stormy Daniels for a non-disclosure agreement because she was going to tell the world that she had some illicit sexual encounter with Donald Trump. This may or may not have happened. May or may not have happened. Non-disclosure agreements are not illegal. You might find them unseemly, and if he had this affair, and I doubt he did, or this sexual fling, elevating it to the status of an affair would be a mischaracterization of it. So, okay, he may have had this illicit relationship. Paying a non-disclosure agreement, perfectly legal. Shut this woman up. And by the way, rich people are often confronted with these made-up allegations and stories, and rather than mudslinging going on, they just pay these people off to go away and leave them alone. Nuisance payments, right? So regardless. At any rate, the Bragg, the county prosecutor, charges Donald Trump under this expired misdemeanor offense, elevating it to a felony because allegedly the attempt was to defraud the American public, the voter, right? The voter. Donald Trump was using this non-disclosure agreement to hide the fact of, the alleged fact, right, of this illicit relationship. So the voting public was defrauded. This is an absolute absurdity, an absolute absurdity. This was filed 2 months after Donald Trump announced he was running for re-election. This would not have happened if Donald Trump wasn't running for re-election. It's a political persecution, not prosecution. You hear, oh, nobody's above the law, above the law. No, but Donald Trump is not beneath the law. The standards of evidence, the standards of justice should not be violated for the sake of getting rid of a presidential candidate who's actually leading in the polls. This is a disastrous event in American history. Historians, when the dust settles, maybe 100 years from now, might look back on this as being one factor in the fall of the American Republic. You lose the rule of law and the standards of justice, and you don't have anything. Soviet Union had a remarkable constitution. Yes, it guaranteed freedom of conscience, right? Standards of justice and evidence and freedom of speech, but there wasn't any. Why? Because a constitution is just a piece of paper. It requires that people adhere to its principles. This is leftists attacking Donald Trump. And, there's these other allegations against him. Same thing, right? The weaponization of the justice system. I forget who said this, that, two wrongs don't make a right, but it does make it equal. this could be the start of something very ugly, where county prosecutors in red districts with conservative prosecutors go after Hillary, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. I mean, this might not stop. This, once it starts, it may be almost impossible to put it back in the box. Respecting, the rule of law and constitutional principles is key. And once that goes, so does the republic. At any rate, yes, leftists, they have never respected the rule of law. Never. From the French Revolution, the Russian Revolution, revolution in China, Pol Pot's Cambodia, never. They've always been advocates for the use of violence because they're progressive, don't you know? They're progressive. They want to usher in some leftist utopia, and you and your rights, the Constitution, you're just getting in the way. I hope you'll check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice. It's available on Amazon. I promise you, it's important. Everything about this leftist ideology is a poisonous lie, and it is coming after you. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Do drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Gratifies my fragile male ego. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Bye-bye now.